Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Smackdown Live review for the date of April 3rd, 2018. Yes, it is the go-home show to WrestleMania 34 that we're talking about on Smackdown Live's part. We saw what Monday Night Raw did last night, and clearly, if you went back and watched that review, which I seen many of you did, uploaded earlier this morning, not last night, due to, of course, internet problems, recently switched over to Spectrum, and let me tell you, it is not a fun thing. SmackDown, I'm not going to tell you they put on a good show here tonight. It was alright, nothing too spectacular. There are a lot of things to complain about here tonight. As far as SmackDown Live goes, like always, these WWE shows on SmackDown Live's part, where they do have the exciting WrestleMania feuds on their behalf, they still didn't deliver 100%. I mean, the AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura deal, it's pretty decent, but I wouldn't call it amazing, as WWE could have very easily made it. I didn't expect the build to that matchup to be anything too spectacular, but WWE has made it so there's tension there, and I'm glad that a feud between two baby faces was at least, at the very minimum, able to accomplish that. There's tension, there's storyline, there's one-upmanship there, even though it's not like these guys are at each other's throats. I love how they've saved everything. This has been built up like a classic rivalry where both men have not made contact before the pay-per-view. They're saving it all, the huge match at the pay-per-view, and I can respect that as far as that goes. But there are feuds here tonight which absolutely, and things that we've seen here tonight which absolutely boggled my mind. For one, what we've seen in the SmackDown Women's Division action with Charlotte, and how the Money in the Bank cash-in was teased again for some reason. I mean, what's the purpose behind teasing the Money in the Bank cash-in for the second time? We've seen it already like 2 weeks ago. Why are you doing the same thing again? That really pissed me off. The New Day promoting the fact that WrestleMania is free when you could have had the commentators do that easily. You could have done something big between those tag teams here tonight. Instead, you put on a ridiculous backstage segment, which I really did not enjoy. We saw an 8-man tag, which was an absolute waste of time, between a bunch of members of the SmackDown Live roster who are going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, it's not anything too amazing what we've seen here tonight. Charlotte and Natalya put on a decent matchup. We saw a pretty decent tag team main event. Clearly what we've seen between Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn was very, very good. I wouldn't say that it was as good as what we've seen last week or the week before, because here tonight, especially what they did with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, it came off across, to me at least, as cheesy. I found it very cheesy, and if the crowd wouldn't have responded to that, which WWE knew they were. If Daniel Bryan's in the ring, the crowd is going to respond. They were on fire for him. But if the crowd would have responded to that, it would have come across as very cheesy with the hug situation. I really didn't enjoy that. I enjoyed a lot more when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn pretty much took over SmackDown Live for the 5 minutes and they started cutting a promo. I enjoyed the hell out of that. We're going to talk about that here tonight on the SmackDown Live review as well as everything else that we've seen on SmackDown Live, whatever I am forgetting. A completely useless match. Another thing here, Jinder Mahal and Rusev, are you kidding me? That's the best you could have done for us going into WrestleMania for the United States Championship. We're going to talk about that as well. But that's pretty much all we've seen on SmackDown Live. Nothing over the top here tonight on the Go Home show. If you propose the question whether or not this got me more excited for WrestleMania, I wouldn't say that it did neither. I wouldn't watch this show and say, oh my god, I'm so excited for WrestleMania, but at the same time, I'm not watching this show and saying, damn, this show really detracted from my excitement for WrestleMania. The excitement I have for WrestleMania, like I noted to you guys, is mostly due to the matches that are going to be on this show. The show that we're going to see on Sunday, realistically is going to be good. There's no way it can't be good because we're going to be seeing some great wrestling action. There's no way Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles is going to be bad. There's no way Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is going to be mad. There's no way Charlotte and Asuka is going to be bad. There's no way the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat on Raw's part, the Fatal 4-Way on the SmackDown part for the United States Championship. Those matches are going to be very good, not to mention the New Day, the Usos, and the Bludgeon Brothers as well, which I wish was something that WWE would have turned into a ladder match here tonight. That would have been great. We're going to talk about that as well. But, of course, before we do go into all of that, I just want to tell you guys to make sure to go check out all of the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Of course, there is so much other content for you guys to go check out. Raw, SmackDown reviews each and every single week. This is a big, big week for the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, as I have not been shy to mention, because of course it is WrestleMania week. Big things are coming as far as content goes. We do cover everything regarding the WWE, and you already saw your Monday Night Raw review last night. You're watching your SmackDown Live review right now, and you're also going to be getting, just this very week, on Thursday, WrestleMania 34 preview and predictions. On Friday, NXT TakeOver New Orleans preview and predictions. On Saturday, your regularly scheduled Behind the Mic, which we do every week. That would be Behind the Mic episode number 61. That, of course, is where we cover all the biggest news in the WWE. On Saturday as well, in the nighttime, after NXT TakeOver New Orleans goes off the air, of course, like you guys know, we're going to be doing a review for NXT TakeOver New Orleans, and then you have your big Sunday pay-per-view, which is the biggest show of the year, of course, WrestleMania 34. We're going to be doing a review of that. I'm going to find a way to make the WrestleMania 34 review special. I'm trying to look for a change of format, just a little spoiler here, where of course I can do the face cam format, but I'm not sure how things are going to pan out, so I'm not guaranteeing anything. That's what I'm trying to work on at this very moment, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Hopefully I can, and we could do a nice little face review on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. But you know what would help me get to that a little bit quicker? You know what would help me get to that format change a little bit faster and get you guys the content that I want to put out there? By helping out the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And the best way to do that is to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel for all the content that I just mentioned on a weekly basis. I'm talking about everything regarding the WWE, not just clicking on the subscribe button, which all of you should. If you have not subscribed yet, I do not know what you're waiting for. So smash that subscribe button. Not only that, click on that notification bell as well for all that content to be regulated and forwarded to your mobile device in notification format. So click on that notification bell and, of course, subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling channel. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here. And, of course, make sure to comment what you thought of SmackDown Live here tonight. Tell me, did you enjoy SmackDown Live here tonight? Because, of course, your opinion is just as important as mine. So make sure to do all of that, because for now, we're going to go straight into your SmackDown Live review. And SmackDown Live did indeed kick off here with Daniel Bryan and the return of Shane McMahon. So, of course, like I always do, I'm, of course, going to play this segment for you guys before, and then I'm going to give you my comments on that. Here's what WWE posted on WWE.com, Bryan and Shane McMahon.
I'm being medically cleared to do what you love and what we all love to watch you do.
And it looks like Shane McMahon is going to be the partner at WrestleMania. We'll discuss that a little bit further.
I couldn't be more excited to be your tag team partner at WrestleMania. But nothing what you've gone through over the last 3 years. But over the past 3 weeks, I've been through a couple things myself. I was hospitalized with diverticulitis, staph infection, and an umbilical hernia courtesy of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But I have also been medically cleared. So I'd like to say that this Sunday, you and I are going to give it every single thing we got, and that's our promise this Sunday at WrestleMania. Over the past 6 months, I've made a lot of mistakes, especially when it comes to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I have been friends with them for 15 years, and I allowed our friendship to lead me in directions that I shouldn't have let it go. And you warned me about their motivations to manipulate me. And Shane, I just have to say that you were right all along, and that I truly, deeply apologize. Wow. Well, thank you, but no reason to apologize, Daniel, because over the past 6 months I've done a little reflection myself, and I know I can be a little hot-headed at times and possibly, maybe a little stubborn. You stubborn? No. A McMahon stubborn? I've learned a lot about being
Pretty
in the
silly.
WWE the past several years. And when a tag team or when partners have their differences, there's really only one way to resolve it.
It looked like they were gonna signal a match. Like, oh, there's only one way to resolve it in the ring. And maybe they were gonna have Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. But that's a ridiculous thought.
Ever since Kevin Owens attacked my dad and Sami Zayn took my revenge away from me, I've been hot-headed, so I'm sorry to you.
So Shane goes for a handshake. Daniel wanted a hug.
Wait a second. I just shook your hand 2 minutes ago. Nashville doesn't want to see us shake hands, do you?
And Nashville isn't usually a crowd that goes crazy.
Does Nashville want to see us
Listen
hug
how
it
crazy
out?
they go for Daniel. So they did hug it out. Pretty nice moment right there. Cheesy, but it was a nice moment.
That actually kind of worked. We're definitely on the same page now. That's right, and Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan being on the same page is bad news for Sami Zayn
Love the way
and
he
Kevin
says that.
Owens, because we are going to get our payback for what they did to me. We are going to get our payback for what they did to Shane, and we are going to get our payback for everything that they've done in between. And Daniel, this one time, I want to say thank you for reinstating Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because now this is the land of opportunity, and I personally am looking forward to teaming with you, taking the opportunity to rid ourselves of those two cancers, and after WrestleMania, they will never, ever be seen in a Smackdown Live arena again. So, are you guys ready to see Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon beat the holy hell out of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania?
So there you have it. That was the segment here tonight on SmackDown Live. Pretty much wrapping up loose ends that needed to be wrapped up if we were going to go into this WrestleMania matchup. It made sense because, yes, that tension was there between Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon this entirety of the time, the 6 months that this feud was being built to, and that kind of needed to be addressed. And I'm glad WWE had Shane McMahon come out here tonight. Looked good. looked good despite the fact that it was rumored that he wasn't even going to be able to make it to WrestleMania due to this injury that he suffered. And those sounds like some pretty serious injuries. Diverticulitis and a hernia, that is no light joke. That is not to be joked around with. Those are two things that after 2 weeks, you should not be in a wrestling ring after suffering that. And Shane McMahon looked good here tonight, was holding onto like the stomach area a couple times here tonight. You could tell that he was dealing with that, and it kind of looked like sometimes that he was in pain despite the fact that he wasn't even getting physical. So Shane McMahon is going to have to be in a lot of pain this Sunday at WrestleMania 34 if he is going to wrestle. And at this point, the fact that you even had him come out in the segment, I think it's pretty much confirmed that he is going to be at WrestleMania 34. We've seen him on television already. The loose ends were wrapped up. It seems like WWE is officially taking this to WrestleMania, and there's not going to be any replacement for Shane McMahon. WWE isn't going to have to go through the process of finding another partner for Daniel Bryan. This is the way it's going to be, and to be quite honest, I'm glad, because this is what makes sense. This is what we've been building to for so long. I wouldn't want anything to get in the way of this, and WWE has to tarnish this matchup by replacing a Shane McMahon with a Kane or a Big Show or just somebody who we don't want to see, or something that doesn't make sense, or something that just diverts the focus away from what we want to see. This is what makes sense. This is the matchup that we all have been waiting for, and this is the matchup that we're going to get. So I'm glad that is still intact, and this segment at parts was funny, it was cheesy, it was a little bit corny at parts, I'll tell you that, but it still got you excited for what we're going to see on Sunday. Daniel Bryan is back, baby, and we're going to see him back in the ring. Cannot wait to see it. They were on the show again later in the night because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn appeared on SmackDown Live. We're going to cover that, but of course we continue on with what happened on SmackDown Live here tonight, and I believe that from there we went straight to Charlotte versus Natalya, and I was expecting this to be a pretty good matchup. Not nearly as good as what we seen in the weeks prior, the last time we saw this matchup. The last time we saw this matchup, they give these women a good 25 minutes. Of course, the commercial breaks in between, but a good 25 minutes, and they were having a very, very good matchup. A matchup of the esteem of Natalya and Charlotte. Very, very good stuff from these two women. This matchup wasn't quite as good, didn't get quite as much time, but what I didn't like about this is that instead of having this matchup go on, instead of having these women put on a barn burner 1 week before WrestleMania and giving us the ending to this matchup that we truly should have seen 2 weeks ago, instead of having your women's champion get pinned like 3 weeks before WrestleMania, the ending that we should have seen, maybe even with the cash and tease, with Charlotte kicking out of that roll up and locking in a figure eight and winning regardless. That should have been the ending to the matchup 2 weeks ago. The fact that we're getting the same exact happening with Carmella teasing a cash-in, which how many goddamn times is Carmella going to tease a cash-in? At this point, it's relentless and tiresome. I'm tired of seeing her cash in and fail. I mean, that's got to be the most attempts and failures at cashing in of all time. Carmella's not only making history by being the woman to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase the longest, or the person, and regardless of gender, to hold the Money in the Bank contract the longest, but she's also making history in how many times you can go out there, try to cash in, and fail. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous, and what I'm hoping is that Carmella will cash in at WrestleMania, but she cashes in on the Raw Women's Championship matchup. You can have her come out the next night on Raw as the Raw Women's Champion. This is actually that would make Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss a better match, if you ask me, because I'm tired of Alexa Bliss, and I don't want to see Nia Jax come out as champion. I'd rather see Carmella out of those two. Out of Charlotte and Asuka and Carmella, I'd rather see Charlotte or Asuka, but of course Asuka is my pick that I want to see walk out of WrestleMania in that scenario. But out of Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella, I'm picking Carmella to walk out. I want to see her walk out as Women's Champion, and it'd be a nice twist because we've been seeing Carmella on SmackDown this entire time. Maybe she discovers a loophole and cashes in on that matchup because she realized that she's not going to be able to cash in on Charlotte or Asuka. They're just too good at being on high alert at all times. So maybe you'll have her come out and say that, and she cashes in on the Monday Night Raw Championship. And I rather see that. I much rather see that, because the reality of it is that she does not have a place with the SmackDown Women's Championship when the matchup on that side is Charlotte versus Asuka. So as far as discussing that goes, that's what I think about that. But it's absolutely ridiculous, and it completely deteriorated whatever we were seeing between Charlotte and Asuka to have Carmella come in and tease this cash in for the 5th goddamn time, and that's not an exaggeration, to say the least. But as far as what happened here goes, it was Carmella who, of course, teased the cash in. Charlotte, I don't know why. This is absolutely mind-boggling to me, and this is just one of those things that makes no sense whatsoever. Carmella signaled for another referee to come out, which just comes across as absolutely stupid because there's already a referee officiating a match within the ring. So why do you need a second referee? But no, she calls for another referee. The referee is not knocked down. He's in perfect health. Nothing is wrong with the referee in the middle of the ring, but she calls out another referee, and they go to the ring together, and both referees have like the briefcase in hand. They're discussing it for some reason. I don't know what the hell is going on. The chaos of a quote-unquote cash-in is going on. Charlotte kicks the briefcase to the curb, goes all the way to the outside, and she gives Carmella a big boot. Natalya goes for the same spot that she did weeks ago with the roll-up. This time, Charlotte sees it coming. She kicks out, and she locks in a figure 8. Natalya is tapping out. So as far as getting momentum on Charlotte going into WrestleMania goes, this matchup did its job, but realistically, so stupid. First of all, the fact that you're doing this cash-in again. Second of all, the fact that Carmella had to call out a second referee. If you're going to do it, you might want to do it right. And I'm not just quoting the commercial for no reason. It's actually stupid. But that is besides the point, because it was Asuka who came out after the matchup, and she pretty much got in the face of Charlotte, pretty much saying what we heard the last time these two encountered each other, which pissed me off. It absolutely pissed me off. They could have said something new. Maybe they could have got a little bit physical. Maybe Asuka, when Charlotte ripped the mic from her and said, "Asuka, you're not ready for me," Asuka should have grabbed the mic back and said, "Oh yeah, I'm not ready for you," and done some crazy move on Charlotte. That would have been cool and cleared Charlotte from the ring. Something like that. But instead, you had Charlotte standing tall here tonight, which kind of foreshadows WrestleMania. Since her music played, it's like the old conspiracy theory. If you stand tall on the go-home show, you fall on the, at the pay-per-view. So Charlotte, she stood tall here tonight. Her music played. She got the last word in, which foreshadows that Asuka is going to be the winner at WrestleMania. And why shouldn't she be? Why shouldn't she be? But after the matchup, Flair stands tall and Asuka's music interrupts. Asuka was going to do the thing where she said, "The queen falls to the empress, blah, 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 and you're not ready for Asuka." But Charlotte, and I love the aggression in this moment, she swipes the mic from Asuka and she says, "Asuka, it's you who is not ready for me." That was cool, but we've heard it. That's my only issue with that. It was cool, but we've heard it. So that's that. I think Asuka's going to walk into WrestleMania as the winner. Can't wait to see the matchup. Going to be one of the best matchups at the show if both women deliver. I expect a lot of big things from it. But for now, we move on here, and it is a promo that AJ Styles cut on Shinsuke Nakamura. A little bit of an interview fashion here. And he's pretty much talking about how Nakamura's mind games won't work. AJ is focused on Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura thinks he's being pretty clever playing these games. But what really got to me is when he loaded up the Kinshasa, came at me with the strike, but then pulled up at the last second just to pat me on the head as if I were a dog. But he forgets that this dog bites. I know that he thinks he's in my head. I get that. He thinks I'm really emotional. And he's probably right. I do wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's no different when I was a kid, scrapping it up on the playground with the big boys. It's the reason why I'm in the WWE in the first place. It's the reason why I've got to this moment. And every phenomenal form that I throw is loaded with emotions on my sleeve. You see, my emotions, they're not my weakness. They're my strength. But if you want to talk about weakness, I think Shinsuke Nakamura's got one. He takes me too lightly. I am the WWE champion, and we are far from the Tokyo Dome. It's WrestleMania.
I like how he mentioned that a little bit.
It's a dream match. But this isn't a dream. It's a reality. And the reality is, I'm going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura.
So a decent little promo from Styles there. If there was something that I wish you would have done differently there, is you should have been serious. You should have had a serious smirk on your face. He was smiling, and he had a smile on his face for most of the promo. That's not the way you do it, bro. You are 1 week before the biggest matchup of your life. Show aggression, show intensity. He was more lighthearted here, and I didn't enjoy that as much. It could have been a lot better if AJ would have been in a serious tone. Heel AJ is the best AJ, and you don't necessarily have to be heel AJ, but cut a promo like heel AJ with the intensity and aggression of heel AJ, because it's pretty good that way, but that's just my opinion. We move on here to Rusev versus Jinder Mahal. I have no idea why this is the match that we were seeing here tonight on SmackDown Live. I did not enjoy this in the slightest whatsoever. Rusev actually came out victorious here tonight. He hit the Machka kick. He hit Sunil Singh. Oh my god, and that reminds me, Sunil Singh, bro. He sung a version of Rusev Day to introduce Jinder Mahal. Oh my god. If there is ear blood on this planet, that is it. Absolutely awful stuff. I completely covered my ears while that was going on. Holy crap. But that is besides the point. Rusev won with the Machka kick, which gets me to the point that I was getting to. Again, that conspiracy. If you win on the go-home show, you lose at the pay-per-view. Rusev won here tonight. Does that mean who's losing on the pay-per-view? This is a case where I hope that's not the case, because Rusev is the one I want to see win the United States Championship. The only reason I am even partially invested in this matchup is because of the inclusion of Rusev, and Rusev getting what he so rightfully deserves after successfully getting this gimmick of Rusev Day over, and that is to win the United States Championship on the grandest stage of them all. Do I think that's going to be the case after him winning here tonight? I don't think so. I think they might even give it to Jinder Mahal. I don't know. Maybe Randy Orton will retain. But hopefully Rusev is the one to walk out of WrestleMania with the United States Championship. Because everybody else, you think about it, everybody else has something to do. Randy Orton, Monday Night Raw bound after WrestleMania. Bobby Roode, heel turn bound, hopefully, after WrestleMania. Jinder Mahal, I don't care. I don't want to see him. He can float into obscurity for all I care after WrestleMania. Rusev has no set plans, nowhere to go. That United States Championship would do wonders for a guy like Rusev, and hopefully that's what we see at WrestleMania. I'll be discussing this further on my preview and predictions for WrestleMania, but holy crap. Rusev, after winning here tonight, this is one of those rare occasions where I actually wanted Rusev to lose, because of course if you stand tall on the go-home show, you lose at the pay-per-view. But after the matchup, we've seen what we've been seeing from Randy Orton for the past God knows how long. It's boring at this point. It still gets a pop from the crowd, though, because the crowd, of course, is full of casuals all over the place. Randy Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere, right? So he hits the RKO out of nowhere. Aiden English tries to attack him from behind. He comes off the second rope, pushed off the second rope by Bobby Roode, goes straight into an RKO. Cool little spot right there. And then Bobby Roode and Randy Orton stand tall and look at the WrestleMania sign as Rusev Day chants break out. Really goes to show you where the interest level for this Fatal 4-Way is. It's all in Rusev Day, and I can agree with that totally. So there's that. We got a pre-recorded video just like we got from AJ Styles from Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't think he has any other tone than the lighthearted tone, and that's exactly what we've seen here tonight from Nakamura and his little backstage segment. Let me see if they have posted this on WWE.com. Holy crap, what is going on? Anyways, I got that regulated right there. As I see, they have not posted it on the WWE YouTube channel, the video yet, but Nakamura pretty much says, he tells AJ Styles that he's not playing any games. He takes this very seriously. Nakamura goes on and says he does not take AJ lightly. He knows AJ very well, and he knows AJ is very emotional. Nakamura says these emotions will cause AJ to make a mistake. When he does, Nakamura will become the WWE Champion with a knee to the face. This makes me want that WWE ordered them wrong. The video packages, that's what, or the little promo packages, they ordered them wrong in my opinion. What you should have done is put Nakamura's first, talking about AJ being more emotional, and then AJ second, because he, in his promo, pretty much rebuttals the emotional thing that Nakamura said. So why didn't you put Nakamura first and AJ second? It would have made more sense. But of course, WWE didn't do that. WWE didn't do that. Came off across as lopsided because what Nakamura was saying was pretty much refuted by AJ Styles. So how am I supposed to believe what Nakamura is saying? Bullshit. Bullshit the way WWE handled that. Could have handled it a lot better, but it's minor. Who really cares? We go to the New Day backstage advertising WrestleMania, and pretty much they're talking about how WrestleMania is going to be free. We got the Usos go to them and they talk about how they're going to leave the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers in the Uso Penitentiary. And then we see the most corny visual that you can possibly ever see. It's the Bludgeon Brothers smashing down their hammers. They arrive behind the New Day. The New Day gets scared. They get scared instead of approaching the men that they will be fighting this Sunday at WrestleMania. And the Bludgeon Brothers smash the camera. Are you kidding me? Absolutely terrible. You could have done something to get somebody excited. For example, announcing that this would be a ladder match at WrestleMania. And not only would that take this from a matchup that people are interested in, but it would make it one of the best matchups and one of the matchups that people are looking forward to most on WrestleMania. But WWE failed to do that here today, which I am very disappointed in. And we go from that to Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Mojo Rawley, and Primo versus Zack Ryder, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, and Ty Dillinger. If you think I care about this, you would be very sincerely mistaken. What even happens here? Baron Corbin wins with the end of days. The Andre the Giant pre-show, the Andre the Giant jobber, the Andre the Jobber Battle Royal, I guess we can call it, is, looking more terrible than ever, I guess. I have no interest in anything that we've seen here. We go to the ring and we see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the arena. Unfortunately, WWE did not post this promo on WWE, their YouTube channel yet, because I would have loved to play it for you guys, but they start talking a bunch of crap. They jump on the announce table and they talk trash about Sunday's big match. They start talking about how Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon can't leave them off of SmackDown Live. They're hijacking SmackDown Live because they're the best talent, blah, 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 blah. They talk a bunch of trash about Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. They apologize to Brie Bella and little birdie Bryan, right? Because they're going to leave their father unrecognizable. She's not going to get to witness and remember her father's big comeback. So, pretty much Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're vowing to shut down the Yes Movement at WrestleMania. But Shane McMahon's music hit as he and Bryan come out to the stage. Sami and Owens have retreated to the crowd now. Bryan tells everyone to look at them and record it, as it will be the last time Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens are on SmackDown, and they start the na 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 hey 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 goodbye chant on SmackDown Live, right? And we pretty much go to the main event from there. But that was pretty great. That was pretty great right there. I love the way they included Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, as they were a little bit hijacking the show. But I wish they would have gotten physical, but that was not the case. We moved on to the main event, and this was a pretty decent main event. Tag team matchup. Inevitably, they had to team the two baby faces together, but it was a pretty good tag team matchup, especially when those two baby faces are Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. You're probably going to get a good matchup 9 times out of 10. That's exactly what we got. AJ hit a phenomenal form, and I love the way that they made the tension between Nakamura and Styles in this matchup. They had one point where Nakamura tagged in Styles, not by tagging him in by the hand, but by patting him on the head, just like he did last week to end the show on SmackDown Live. That was pretty great. Then on top of that, you had AJ Styles hop on the apron right next to Nakamura at the end of the match to hit the phenomenal forearm. Looks at Nakamura, looks at the WrestleMania sign, hits the phenomenal forearm, brutal one on Gable, and gets the 1-2-3 to end the matchup. After the matchup is where things go down. Of course, AJ stands tall. AJ goes to ringside, retrieves the title belt, and he starts talking trash to Nakamura. Benjamin comes from behind, lays Nakamura out, but Nakamura, of course, fights Benjamin back, and from behind, AJ almost hits the phenomenal forearm on Nakamura, just like Nakamura almost hit the Kinshasa last week. So symmetry in the booking, and he stops right before he hits the phenomenal forearm, and Nakamura smiles at him. AJ pats Nakamura on the head, and Nakamura, just like AJ was last week, dumbfounded and angry look on the face of Shinsuke Nakamura. Love the way they did that. There is tension there. Not the type of tension that I would have necessarily booked. I would have booked this to be a feud a little bit more with more tension and bloodshed than WWE did it. They booked it about sportsmanship and, of course, respect. That's what they booked this out of. And, of course, out of this being a dream matchup. Hopefully in the future, maybe we will see an iteration of AJ Styles where he is heel going against Nakamura for a second time, and we can see a little bit more aggression and passion in the way these two fight and in the feud. But as far as what they've done, I think they've built it up pretty well. It could have been done better, but I'm excited. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The dream matchup happening at WrestleMania 34. I think it should go on in the main event. That's an argument for another day, but pretty good stuff between AJ and Nakamura. We're going in to WrestleMania 34. Couple things that I would have done differently just to keep it in the format of the way WWE did it. Bring up Nakamura's history. Have Nakamura state that he came to WWE for a matchup like this against AJ Styles. Have them bring up the former matchup in New Japan. Have that be a talking point about how he wants to avenge his loss. That could have brought in some well-needed tension, that just bringing up that history over the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. WWE does not stray from bringing those things up. Those are just a couple things that I would have done differently with this feud. But we're here, we're there at WrestleMania, and it's the matchup that will invest everybody. It's the matchup that will open everybody's eyes. It's the matchup that will speak for itself. And I cannot wait to see what Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles do in between those ropes. I'm just happy that WWE has not completely tarnished what we wanted to see between the Royal Rumble and now. We got to this matchup. We've wanted it for over a year now, and we're here. And I cannot wait to see what AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura will do in the middle of the ring for that WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34. For now, this was your review for SmackDown Live. Of course, the date of April 3rd, 2018, your go-home show to WrestleMania. For now, that will be all. Make sure to do all the stuff I told you at the beginning of the video. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling News channel. Monday Night Raw review was uploaded earlier this morning, as well as to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here. Comment, because your opinion is just as important as mine. And of course, subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling News channel. Hit that subscribe button with the Kinshasa. Hit it with a phenomenal forearm. Hit it with whatever you got, because for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be all right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. For now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling, and I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I'll see you next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.